Internet, my name's Don, and yeah, today I'm going to talk to you about skincare, and particularly for the hands. So here we have my hands, the light there. Normally don't let them get this bad, but it is winter time, my skin's cracking, I have a lot of buildup. Yeah, so basically skincare is important for climbing. Contrary to popular belief, you don't actually want calluses. Calluses catch and they rip, and then you end up with a flapper. So what a flapper is, when a giant it catches and it rips off, and if you're lucky, it only takes off a layer of skin and doesn't actually start bleeding. This one for me is a permanent flapper, so if I do not take care of this, it will rip. Not maybe, it will rip. So I always have to tape over this. But my rule of in this case, thumb or finger, however you want to go about it, is anywhere that my finger can catch and drag on it, I remove. You can kind of hear it, and you can see it. So all that lovely dead skin I don't need, and it will catch and ruin my climbing. Usually only the sections here. You really don't want any unevenness. So like there's another one there that I always tear down. Yeah. So Don, how do you take care of this? Basically, what I do is I take a file to it. So this is an electric foot file, basically. You can just use sandpaper to do it, or a file, but I find it takes an eternity. This is one of the first ones I bought. You can see all the lovely dead skin probably still left on it. This first style I bought, that did the job, but I find it wasn't very durable and it didn't work the best. So I got rid of that, and that's my backup one now. I find this new one, I'll probably put links in below and whatnot so you can easily find it. I find this style is much better. It doesn't have as much contact area as this other one does, but the best part is that the direct drive system's a lot better. Like, it uses these cogs versus these little square wheels, and eventually they don't go over as nice, and they start slipping and breaking. So yeah, and also they usually don't spin as nicely, like all centered and whatnot. This one has quite a bit of wiggle room in it. This one spins very concentrically. Yeah, so rather than you can, these things are relatively cheap. I got these off Amazon.ca, probably around 30-20 bucks, I can't remember at the time, but well worth it. Don't spend your time sitting there with sandpaper, going to town on it. Spend time sanding. Yeah, so I usually do this outside because it creates a dust storm of your own lovely skin, and yeah, it's also nice to get some fresh air. So I'm just going to take care of my lovely little hands right now. So I just came back from outside. Hopefully you can see the difference. You can kind of see how much dead skin I removed. I still have a couple of high spots, but it's winter right now and it is cold outside. But besides just knocking off any of the high spots where my fingers catch, typically where you end up only seeing a lot of wear and tear is right in these spots here on the pad where you actually make contact with the holds. I also try to even out the outer sides, kind of where I'm pointing right now, because those spots don't get even out. Like, I know that my pinkies, for instance, get really solid. So, and just little tips for this thing. You want to let the grinding wheel do its thing. Like, don't press into it like crazy. You just want to let it do its thing. Usually when I do the little finer tuner spots, I go on because it's rotating this way, I set it up here and just let it kind of do its thing. I'm not going to show you because I don't want all my dead skin inside the house. That's why I go on the patio or outside and plug in some music and some tunes, and you start going to town on my hands. Yeah. I usually like to do this, and then the next thing I always like to do is put some nice little creams on, because it's got to heal somehow. So I like to use a vitamin E cream or a moisturizing cream. This one I usually do a lot. I have this kicking around, so I just want to use it up. But yeah, vitamin E is crucial for healing your skin. I typically at least do this just before going to bed at night. Other things that you can look into to try to get less sweaty hands and whatnot are products like this. So Antihydral is super common. Basically, the active ingredient in both of these. Oh, and this is Dehydral. This is available in Canada. I can't seem to find it right now at the time of filming this thing, but this is 8%, and this is 13%, I believe, of the active ingredient. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so I just put a little dollop on it. Probably include a little picture of what it looks like, because it's not nighttime, so it's not my routine. You gotta kind of figure out how it works for your skin. Some people it works really well, some people it doesn't. I basically just put it on my pads. I'll include an image, and then let it dry. Put on a YouTube video before going to bed. Let it dry out, and then go to sleep with it, and then wash off in the morning. Basically, in the next couple of days, it makes your tips a lot more solid, skinned, a lot tougher, less prone to wear, and it doesn't sweat on your tips as much. That really does help. Yeah, you just really got to find out what works for you. If Antihydral, it's the most cost effective. You can get it at Climbon, Squamish is actually where I got mine. Love those guys; they are the best. Dehydral I ordered a couple of years ago. I honestly, when at the time I was helping a friend look into buying some, I could not find this anywhere. But yeah, so you kind of have to find out what works for you. But some people it works too well. Some people it works not overly well. You just kind of figure out. There's articles on it. I just wanted to expose you to what I like to do for my hand care routine. Yeah. That all said and done, like, these are just my opinions, and this is what I do. I'm always up to continue learning more. Feel free to comment or do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, this is just what I like to do, and this is just my way of trying to spread a little more knowledge in the world. Any great tips, feel free to shoot them my way. Yeah, I also know that, actually has them in the corner over there. It's a spray from Rhino Skin that has basically the same thing. You spray it on your hands, let it dry out, wash it off. Well, yeah. See you next video.